Hello guys, I am back from another review and today we're talking about Deku gave up on being a hero. So in the last video, well, after they were told that they're gonna be having a sports festival, Izuku started recording and also training. What do I mean by recording? Well, Izuku would always record conversations that Bakugo would had with him, mostly either bullying him or calling him weak. He would also follow Bakugo and sometimes record him doing some other things, like for example bullying kids that are basically weaker than him, or sometimes going to, different places to find, well, fight, or should I say hurt quirkless people. So, yeah, that's what Bakugo did. And when the time of the sports festival arrived, well, the first event was pretty easy for Izuku, and the best part is that Bakugo was disqualified because, well, Bakugo was in last place. The other events were pretty easy, including the last event, which was the one-on-one battles. After that, Izuku put up the video and showing it to everybody, and it's not helping that it was a live broadcast all over the country of Japan. So when they saw the video of Bakugo doing that, well, they instantly hated Bakugo. It's basically like a like a story in like r slash nuclear or pro revenge. If you don't know what is that subreddit, well, I recommend you to watch it if you want to see people suffer. Especially if it's people that are like Karens. Anyway, so, after, well, Izuku does that, Bakugo was not disqualified, actually even worse. Bakugo was expelled. Yeah, Bakugo was expelled for that. So, yeah. So, because of that, when he arrives back home, he was disowned, and Bakugo became mad and decided to kill his parents. After killing his parents, he flooded his house with, well, gasoline and other such liquids and other such liquids that can, well, basically, well, spread pretty far. As in spread pretty far, I mean spread fire pretty far, like any type of lighter fluid. So, after he did that, he throws a burning match and burns down his house. Then after that, he wears a mask, like a what do you call it? Like a gas mask basically. A half mask by the way. He also wears a red hoodie and calls himself the Burning Man now. Similar to like Jeff the Killer and other such, well, killer type, well, characters in creepypastas basically. Looking at you, creepy Toby. Or was it Tiki Toby? I can't remember. Anyway, so after Bakugo did that, he swore to kill everybody that ruined him, including Izuku. So, yeah, that's what happened in the last video. I meant the last video. So, yeah, so let's talk about what happens next. Anyway, before we start the story, I wanted to tell all of you guys that it is my birthday. I'm turning 15 right now. The birthday party and the food were pretty delicious. I especially love the mangingisal chicken. If you don't know what is mangingisal, well, basically like a famous restaurant in our country. It's really good. I love the chicken. It's pretty juicy. Anyway, I wanted to ask all of you about this. About my last post. This one. I told you guys to basically pick a vote for like which ship should Izuku be shipped with. Like for example, Fembaku or Kendo or the harem. But none of you voted. Except for one, which is more of a comment than anything else. Which is this one. Oh, wait for yeah, this one. This one. I'm counting that as a vote. So yeah, the only one that's leading right now is harem. So yeah, if you want to vote on which ship should be Izuku's main ship in like the FGO what if, just go to this post and start pressing some well buttons. So yeah, so yeah, let's go back to the story proper then. So Ezekiel woke up and started getting ready. As in getting ready, he starts going on the jog. Oh, sorry about that. The, Ezekiel started going on the jog. While Ezekiel was jogging, Ezekiel, well, saw something interesting. Ezekiel sees, well, wait for a second, Momo on one of the benches of the park. As Izuku comes up to her, she says this. Oh, hey Izuku. As Izuku says this, what are you doing here super early in the morning? As she says this, well, I'm actually trying to do, well, some exercises, but I don't really know how to do it, so, um, so I just been, well, sitting here. As Izuku says this, maybe I can help you with that? As she says this, really? Um, sure. So, Izuku helps her while jog a little bit, and after that, Izuku starts going back, well, to his dorm room. So, when Izuku gets back, Izuku sees, well, both Lilith and Diane basically still sleeping. Izuku just ignored that and started making breakfast, which was just some eggs and bacon. Izuku left it on the counter of, well, the, well, of the dorm room and starts going outside again so he can talk to Principal Nezu again. So, when Izuku gets there, Principal Nezu tells Izuku that they found some more information about All for One's, well, current whereabouts. Apparently, well, wait for a second. The brand new, well, information about All for One was about him being, well, situated somewhere. Apparently, he's currently situated in a different place, specifically in, well, a certain area of Tokyo. Apparently, he's currently working with the Yakuza. Izuku says this. Really? Huh. As Nezu says this. Yeah. So, tomorrow we're going to be doing something important, which is going to be talking about, well, hero names. And they're going to be going to, well, Tokyo for their, well, internship. So you can probably go there and try to find some information about, well, O for One. Maybe even better, try to defeat him. As Izuku says this. Interesting. Fine. I'll do this whole hero thing, but I won't get a hero name. As he says this. Oh, don't worry. I can just tell the teachers about that, so yeah. So, after Izuku gets back, well, both Lilith and Diane were eating breakfast as they say this. Hey, Izuku, did you finish eating yours? Oh yeah, I already finished. Ugh, the muffins. Ugh, a bit, well, overcooked, not gonna lie. As Diane says this. Wait, you had muffins? Izuku says this. Yeah, but they were kind of overcooked. As Diane says this. Uh, guess I'll start eating this bacon. So, she starts chewing on the bacon as Izuku starts going back to sleep again. Because, well, that was a bit tiring. So, when Izuku wakes up, well, in the middle of the night, he starts going back into the kitchen. Not kitchen, I meant the bathroom. So, when he starts going back to the bathroom, he starts going to the bathroom to powder his nose. As in powder his nose, I mean, he needs to take a piss. While he was taking a piss, Izuku sees something weird in the toilet. Something in the toilet was pretty unnerving about it. There's something red. So, Izuku just flushed the toilet and just don't mind it. So, when Izuku gets back to his, well, well, to the bedroom, I guess, Izuku saw something unnerving. Some sort of shadow creature looming over both Diane and Lilith. Izuku says this. What the heck are you? The creature didn't talk, but just looked. As both Diane and Lilith woke up, they see the creature as they shoot out blasts. Not shoot out blasts, mostly, well, Diane did that. Diane used her, well, magic to basically start attacking it. The shadow creature moved and ran away almost like a, well, a scared animal. So, after that, Diane says this. What the heck was that creature? Uh, was that an SCP? As Izuku says this. I don't know, but I can definitely tell that was some sort of messenger. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. As Izuku says this, if that creature was some sort of messenger, that means, as one of them being Lilith said this, if that really is true, then they started worrying as they told Principal Nezu about this. After getting informed of this, well, brand new revelation, he tells, well, some of the security guards to stay vigilant this time because they don't have another situation like this. So, yeah. So, the next day comes as it's the day, I meant, as it's the day of where they're gonna be picking their hero names. After everybody else got their hero names, well, it's Diane and Lilith's turn. Lilith picked her hero name, which was called, well, Martha. Everybody said, why Martha? She says that it's, well, her name is named after, well, the greatest, well, or at least a well known, well, saint, specifically from France. Her name was Martha, Saint Martha. I meant, not he, I meant she. She was well known for defeating the Tarrasque. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. She was most famous for defeating the Tarrasque, which was a dragon, even though it doesn't look like a dragon at all. In fact, to me, it's more like some sort of chimera than anything else. It had like a lion head and, well, a turtle shell and a scorpion's tail and multiple legs. So, yeah, that's her explanation. They chalked up for, well, just being her own way of, well, thinking. And, well, they mostly thought that is why she's the reason why she picked her name, because, well, most of them thought that she was pretty religious. So, yeah, that is why they just chalked it up for that. So, Diane's hero name was. Diane's hero name was Yao. Most of them say why Yao, as she says that it's a Korean name, which means fox, and yeah, I just did Google Translate for that because, well, I just don't know how to do, well, different types of languages. The most I can do is either Latin or something like that. The reason why I do Latin is, well, I thought it was a cool language, so yeah. Anyway, so when it was Izuku's turn, everybody was excited to see Izuku's hero name. But Dichi says this. Alright, next. Not really next, um, more like, alright, everybody's done, okay? Okay. One of them being Kirishima says this. Wait, Teach, how about Izuku? As she says this. Oh, don't worry, Izuku asked for no hero name. As most of them say, why? As Izuku says this. No reason. I thought the hero name would be, well, pretty useless. Everybody just asked why because hero names were awesome to them. As Izuku says this. Do you want to have a hero name like, I don't know, like something something or whatever? Like, if you had to, like, you have no chance of, like, changing your hero name, right? So, just imagine a person named, like, I don't know, Swag Lord or something like that, and being called Swag Lord for the rest of his life as a hero. As everybody just asked, why did you decide to, well, do that instead? Why? I don't have a hero named, like, a hero called Swag Lord. Izuku says this. Yeah, that is why I don't really like hero names. It's stupid. So, when everybody was picking their internships, it's Izuku's turn, and Izuku decides to just go to Tokyo and finds a hero agency was, well, pretty small. That age, though, I meant that hero agency was, well, pretty small, and rarely people don't know it. Let's just say the hero's name is like Thunderbolt or something, a superhero that has like a electric work. So yeah, wait for a second. Anyway, so when it's, well, like a few hours have gone by, they started going back to their dorms. So when Izuku was going back to his, well, his dorm, Izuku was approached by, well, by Momo. Momo says this. So, Izuku, which well, agency you decide to go to? Izuku says that he's going to the agency worked or owned by Thunderbolt. As he says this, I meant she. Wait, Thunderbolt? That hero? Really, people don't know him. And why did you decide to go for him instead? As Izuku says this. Well, I thought it was interesting, so yeah, and besides, free publicity for him. I feel bad for him. As he says this, I meant she. Sure. Anyway, Izuku, are you like dating anybody by any chance? As Izuku says this. Well, no. Why? She starts, well, getting a little bit, well, anxious. As she says this. Well, would you like to date me? Izuku was like caught off guard by this comment. As Izuku just, well, slouches a little bit as Izuku says this. Sorry, Momo. Um, even though you're pretty, I'm not really interested in you, so maybe we can just be friends? She was, well, devastated because most boys, specifically, like, for example, like Todoroki, absolutely loved her. But when Todoroki confessed to her last time, which was in middle school, well, she refused because she doesn't like, well, well, Todoroki at all. She just thought of him as like a brother. So when, well, she, well, met Izuku, she was in, like, instantly in love with him. But when Izuku said that she, well, was not his type, or should I say, not, well, really in love with her, well, she was devastated. As Izuku says this, alright, guess I'll be going now. See ya. She was unhappy. She says this. Am I not good enough for him? She kind of gets a little bit angry and goes to her parents. So when she goes back to her house to discuss this to her parents, well, they say this. So, who is this Izuku boy? She, well, shows a picture of him. They were instantly, well, lep up. Like, like they were afraid. Mostly because they know that boy many years ago. You know why? Well, let's do some backstory. So, during a time where they were just, well, or at least back then when they were like a few years, well, um, how do I say it? Like a few years when is not like um actually yeah, back then when Momo was still in middle school, well, they were pretty much at their heyday. Like stocks of their like companies, they were rising up until they decide to go to a specific place, specifically to the well, wait for a second, to the SCP Foundation. They were told that there was an SCP, well, in their facility, which was a low level SCP, like a safe class, like well SCP. Anyway, wait for a second. When they were attacked by the SCP was well a simple teddy bear, but when they, well, let's just say disrespected it, well, it turned into a literal monster. The bear or the teddy bear turns big with sharp claws and had like, well, needle like teeth and red bloodshot eyes. Almost too realistic. And almost had horns, but also had a scorpion's tail and, well, the legs look like, well, how do I say it? Like wolf legs. So, while the factory is being evacuated, Izuku was there. Most of, well, of them were pretty skeptical of Izuku's, well, skills, including, well, Momo's parents. Because, well, Izuku was, well, pretty much, well, pretty young. Maybe like, 15 at the time. So, wait for a second. So, when it's time for Izuku to basically get ready to go in the, well, into the, well, facility, Izuku starts going off. Where, well, Momo's parents were basically watching in a, well, in a camera located in Izuku's, well, head. When Izuku started fighting the, well, creature, Izuku puts the headband like somewhere where the creature won't see it and destroy it. So when Izuku did that, well, the fight was not even a fight. It's more like a slaughter. The creature or the SCP started spewing out little versions of itself, which Izuku killed with no remorse. Abel just explains how Izuku is able to do that. When they when Abel said that, well, Izuku is, well, quirkless, they were like terrified, including the rest of, well, the staff. So when Izuku defeated it by literally ripping two of his eyes off, blinding it, and then ripping off his legs, well, Izuku just captures it with no problem. The creature was screaming for help. They were terrified of Izuku. They were basically scared. They thought of Izuku as like, well, maybe like the same level as All Might. But when they saw that picture of Momo saying that she was in love with Izuku, well, they were kind of terrified but also proud. So, her mother said this. Yeah? So, you're in love with, this kid. As she says this. Uh, but he rejected me. She's, well, his father, I meant her father, said this. Really? He rejected you? Why? I mean, you're beautiful. You're the daughter of one of the most powerful families, and he rejected you? As she says this. Yeah, I don't know why. I think the reason why he did that is because, well, I think he's probably in love with two of those girls. As they say this. What girls? She shows them a picture. As they say this. Really? Huh. I have a great idea, says his father. I met her father. As she says this, what is it? She was given special papers. These papers say that they should, that they're gonna be engaged no matter what. If they don't, well, they would sue, the SCP Foundation and maybe, how do I say it? Expose them to the world. So, yeah. So, after that, she was also told of the SCP Foundation, which was a part of their contract. Let me explain. After Izuku, af- after Izuku captures, the creature, they were given a contract which tells them to not, and I mean not, tell anybody except for people that are in their circle to, or, about of the SCP Foundation. Basically, they can't tell anybody except for in their circle of like high class, people or high ranking people in society about the SCP Foundation. So, after telling her about, the SCP Foundation, she now had some, well, great ideas of what she's going to do to Izuku. Maybe even, how do we say it? Like, starts with it's be like, how do I say it? Like, rhymes with grape. Rhymes with grape, basically, him. So, after getting that information, she turns a bit yandere, I guess. She says this. So, I'll get him no matter what. Now, he's definitely going to become mine. Nobody bothers me. I'm literally a queen. And that Izuku Midoriya, did reject me. Well then, I'll force him to marry me, even becoming my... She starts like heavily breathing as she starts laughing a little bit as she says this. He will become mine. So, yeah, back to Izuku. Izuku sneezes as Izuku says this. Is anybody talking about me? As both Diane and Lilith say this. I meant both Lilith and Diane say this. What are you talking about? As Izuku says this. I just felt like somebody was talking about me. As Diane says this. Anyway, can you teach me about this? I don't really know math all that much. After a while of helping them of their math, it's finally the day where they're gonna be going to their internships. But unfortunately, this will be the end of the episode. So yeah. So before you leave, I want all of you to vote for this post. Like, only one person voted, and it was just a comment. So just comment, not comment, like, go to this post right here. Like, go to this post right here and just, pick any of these ships. I'm guessing all of you guys are going to be picking Harem because, obviously. But just, just pick any of these, okay? Good. So, yeah, this will be the end of the episode. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.